Alright, so this is going to be covering Calculus 2's optional exam, where we go over problem by problem and video by video, solving each problem and explaining the steps as we go. The first problem that we have is the integral of x to the fifth times cosine of 4x. Now you could choose to do integration by parts and choose a u and a dv. Now that is going to take quite a while just because of the variables that we are given. So instead what we're going to do is choose the easier way, which is the tabular method. Now we're going to start out by choosing, we're still going to choose a u, and that's going to be x to the fifth since it eventually goes to 0. And we're also going to choose a dv, and that'll be cosine of 4x. Now starting out, we have to keep deriving x to the fifth until we get to 0, and then we stop. So the first derivative is going to be 5x to the fourth, followed by 20x cubed, 60x squared, 180x, and then 180, and then 0, and now we stop. We have 6 terms. Now we have to do the integral of cosine to the 4x 6 times as well. And the first integral, and I'm going to go ahead and take out the fraction for all of these integrals. So this is going to be 1/4 sine of 4x, followed by negative 1/16 cosine 4x, 1/64 sine 4x, negative 1/256 cosine 4x, 1/1024 sine 4x, and negative 1/4096 cosine 4x. And pardon me, this negative sign here is not right. It is positive 1/256. Now what we're going to do is we're going to match up each term. This is eventually the answer you would get by going with integration by parts, but this way is much quicker. I'm just lining up the terms that I need to focus on. It's going to go it's always going to alternate. After you're done with one set, it's going to alternate signs. So plus minus plus minus plus. And so now solving this and putting it all together in one big long string of numbers, it's going to be 5x to the fourth times 1/16 cosine of 4x forgot my negative sign, so 5x to the fourth minus 1/16 cosine of 4x times negative times negative is positive, so plus 20x cubed times 1/64 sine 4x Next one is 60x squared times 1/256 cosine 4x minus 180x times 1/1024 sine of 4x. And then now we're down to our last term. I'm going to write it under, is plus 180 minus 1/4096 cosine of 4x. And don't forget your plus c. Now you can take out a 1/4 or a 1/16 out of each fraction to make your answer a little bit simpler. and a little bit shorter and easier to read, but this is still correct if you wanted to leave it like this, and that's what we're going to do. And this wraps up the first problem